Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, if you take a monkey from the trees and put it in a lion's den, that monkey does not suddenly become a lion. It remains a monkey because of course monkey is as monkey does. So that monkey-like behavior that we are used to now from the Nigerian setting has now been taken to the international stage. As guys, I bring you this: Nigeria threatens CNN with sanctions but provide no evidence. Lekki Tollgate investigation is inaccurate. So Lai Mohammed, of course, is the person we're speaking to now, is the go-to person in this sort of situations, and he has come out now in the public space to say that the CNN expose, I'm sure a lot of you would have seen it, but if you have not seen it, CNN did a documentary showing the trajectory, the run through, the timestamps of what happened at Lekki Tollgate, to the point of actually showing soldiers shooting at the crowd. So they exposed the whole thing, and of course now that has now put paid to the lies and spins that the Buhari regime are trying to give this thing. And Lai Mohammed, of course, has now come out in the public space demanding sanctions against CNN. Sanctions against CNN is what this guy is asking. Some hobnob from a third world country asking that CNN be sanctioned. So who exactly is going to sanction CNN is what I am asking. Is this guy now going to send Yusuf Bichi after CNN like they did with SOWORE, or like they do with the average Nigerian journalist, kicking them in the head all the way to a prison cell? Perhaps he's going to kick CNN in the head all the way to a prison cell. Again, the headline: Nigeria threatens CNN with sanctions but provides no evidence. Lekki Tollgate investigation is inaccurate. So now let's now see how this is detailed. A senior Nigerian minister lashed out against CNN Thursday, saying the network should be sanctioned over its investigation, which uncovered evidence that the Nigerian army and police opened fire on unarmed protesters on October the 20th. CNN's investigation focused on a demonstration against police brutality led by the largely peaceful #EndSARS movement. Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed Thursday dismissed CNN's investigation as fake news and misinformation, repeatedly denying the military used live rounds against protesters. Like everyone else, I watched the CNN report. I must tell you that it reinforces the disinformation that is going around, and it is blatantly irresponsible and a poor piece of journalistic work by a reputable international news organization, he told reporters at a press conference in Abuja in the most significant federal government response so far to the October 20th violence. This is very serious and CNN should be sanctioned for that, he said. CNN stands by its investigation, a company spokesperson said. Our reporting was carefully and meticulously researched and we stand by it, the spokesperson said via email. The report was based on testimonies from dozens of witnesses and photos and videos obtained and geolocated by CNN. It painted a picture of how members of the Nigerian army and the police shot at the crowd, killing at least one person and wounding dozens more. CNN verified photos and videos acquired from multiple eyewitnesses and protesters using timestamps and other data from the video file. Video footage shows soldiers who appear to be shooting in the direction of protesters, and accounts from eyewitnesses established that after the army withdrew, a second round of shooting happened later in the evening. Prior to publishing the report, CNN tried multiple times to elicit comment from the Nigerian army and police. A Lagos State Police spokesperson declined to comment because of an ongoing investigation, whilst a statement from the Lagos State government said that there would be no comment whilst a judicial tribunal was underway. CNN also included comments from Army representatives Brigadier Ahmed Taiwo testifying before in the tribunal. He denied that soldiers would shoot at Nigerian citizens. The investigation was broadcast and published on Wednesday and cast doubt on Nigerian authorities' shifting and changing statements over what happened at the protest at the Lekki Tollgate. In Lagos, addressing reporters, Mohammed insisted that the military did not shoot at the protesters at the toll gate, but fired blank ammunition into the air, blaming looters for the violence which broke out on the night of October the 20th. 6 soldiers and 37 policemen were killed all over the country during the crisis, Mohammed said. CNN relied heavily on unreliable and possibly doctored videos, as well as information sourced from questionable sources, to reach these conclusions, he continued. He did not provide any evidence the videos were doctored. The CNN report included evidence that bullet castings from the scene matched those used by the Nigerian army when shooting live rounds, according to current and former military officials. 2 ballistic experts also confirmed with CNN that the shape of the bullet castings indicate they used live rounds, which contradicts the army's claim that they fired blanks. Whilst the Minister for Information and Culture asserted that not a single family has reported the death of relatives during the protest on October the 20th, the Chief Coroner of Lagos State has since issued a public call for all those who have lost loved ones between the 19th and the 20th of October to come forward and provide evidence which could assist in the identification exercise. During his press briefing on Thursday, the minister denied reports of fatalities at the protest. As I said earlier, what started as a peaceful protest against police brutality quickly degenerated into incredible violence despite an immediate response to their demands by the government, he said. Whilst we await the judicial panel in Lagos to unravel what transpired at the Lekki Tollgate, what we can say, based on testimonies available in the public space, is that the world may have just witnessed, for the very first time ever, a massacre without bodies. According to Mohammed, the National Economic Council (NEC) directed the immediate establishment of a state-based judicial panel of inquiry on October the 15th before the Lekki Tollgate incident, but after protests against violence began, to investigate complaints of police brutality and extrajudicial killings. Eyewitnesses have since told CNN that the government's comments are lies, making them feel as though they had hallucinated the whole event. Haven't they hurt us enough? I still close my eyes and see the blood and hear the screams, another eyewitness said. During the press conference, Mohammed said the federal government continues to be very satisfied with the role played by security agencies, especially the military and the police, throughout the protest. So now this is now it's utterly ridiculous, of course, but then as I said, monkey do as monkey does. So this is a monkey-like behavior. This guy now is threatening CNN that can have him arrested from his seat as he stands, because of course the weight of CNN reverberates all the way to the Oval Office within the United States system, and this is a global institution, and these people, and it is a big mistake, by the way. You know that this guy is just used to coming on the media space and bullying people. They'll pick up journalists and lock them up and gun them down and disappear them, etc. So this is the system that they are used to, but he feels as though that system also translates and transmutes into the international scene. So this just shows the lack of sophistry of the entire structure of the Nigerian system. This guy preening and peacocking with his tribal marks and his silly glasses, he thinks he can sit in Abuja and threaten the CNN. So now this threat now that he has made against the CNN, and particularly calling them fake news and calling for sanctions, will well prove to be a mistake in the medium to long term, because these people now will then set out a budget to thoroughly investigate these people, and you can then now expect a series of expose about the Nigerian government with particular focus on the Lekki Tollgate. So this is not something that the CNN would let go, but then of course we all know the playbook of the Nigerian government. So the first thing is they will go and tell them that they are going to first deport 1 or 2 correspondents from CNN from Nigeria, and then they will then go and seal off their office with their Janjaweed militia type police army whatever, and then begin to write to the American embassy that CNN is telling the truth via way of fake news according to them. So this is the ludicrousness of the playbook of the Nigerian system, especially this clueless regime that we have in place at the moment. But CNN will be the last establishment that will be bullied by these people. So get lost is the response of CNN to Lai Mohammed and his paymasters, and I for one applaud that. What says you? Come share thoughts. But before you come share those thoughts, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, come tell me then what you're making of this false posturing, this little man Lai Mohammed posturing and puffing his chest out against the juggernaut that is the CNN. So how does this play out then? What is your reading? Come share all that with me in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.